Should you care which guys your girlfriend f***ed before? Should you care about her body count, who she's following on Instagram, if she has OnlyFans or not, what type of photos she posts online, if she had threesomes before or not? All these are trigger topics, and I'm sure you watching this are already a bit uncomfortable now listening to me.
When a girl tells you how many guys she slept with, multiply it by 3 and that's the real number.
The modern, masculinity YouTubers tell us you need to find a good girl and you need to put her in her place and she needs to be loyal and she doesn't leave the house and she doesn't work and of course she will be only thinking about you and she will never have fantasies about other men because you are the alpha. The reality is you don't have to be the alpha in that sense. There is no set rule of how your opinion about her sexual past has to be. I have friends who are extremely open-minded. They go to swinger parties and, they enjoy seeing their wife being with other dudes. I have other friends who are extremely conservative, who are in very committed, monogamous, strict rules set relationships. I'm okay with both, right? I don't have a moral judgment in one direction or the other. As long as they're both happy, as long as they're both consenting to what's happening, as long as they both agree on certain rules that are being set and aligned to that, that's fine with me. And maybe you're one of these guys who are more on the conservative side. Maybe you're one of the guys who are like, I want a good girl. I want to be strictly monogamous. I want a girl who has a very low body count, keeping her sexuality more to herself and who preserves it. And for me, and later when I marry her, right? No. If you're a guy who is single, who has very little sexual experience, who generally has the experience in your dating life where you meet a girl for the first date and it doesn't lead to anything, where you're usually not the guy she calls when she's horny or when she just breaks up or when she just wants some dick, then you have to become more open-minded. You are now not in a phase, probably in your life, where you search for that one angel woman that you're gonna marry. You are in a phase in your life where you need to gain sexual experience. And the only way to gain sexual experience is become more sexually open yourself. And that's not just as easy as saying, I like having multiple girlfriends and I like to fuck around, so that's why I'm sexually open. No, it's also a mental shift and a mindset shift in the sense of you have to become open towards female fantasies, even if it triggers you. You have to become open towards her sexual past, even if it triggers you. So let's look in a few sections in this video how to do that step by step. This is especially important if you never had a threesome, if you never have a one-night stand, if you never had like some public stuff going on. Probably you are the kind of guy who unconsciously is projecting some really conservative, some boring and ice-cold view on sexuality onto her from the first interaction on, from the first conversation, from the first time you talk about sex on the first date, and you're shutting that part of her that is inside of her, like it or not. You're shutting that part down and it's not helping you or her. So if you're one of those guys, or if anything I've said so far is even a little bit triggering, then pay close attention. So let's start unpacking the root of this problem. Why are we so triggered about female fantasies, about her past, about her ex-boyfriends, about her experiences? The root concept here is called the Maddona whore complex.
I thought I'd be married by now and going through all this stuff alongside you guys. But even if I meet the girl of my dreams right this second, I'm still 1 night and 9 months away from having a family of my own. And that's assuming the mother of my children is just a huge slut.
Don't lose hope, Ted.
That slut is out there.
It basically describes the male attitude towards the female sexuality. And here, most men on this planet are strictly separating the good girls from the bad girls, the angels from the devils, the dirty sluts who sleep around, the strippers, the OnlyFans girls, from the good girls who just want to find a husband and who are pure and who, keep their virginity until marriage and who would never even think about any dirty fantasies like, domination, BDSM, group sex. No. These are the good girls, not like the bad girls. And guess what? My mom, my sister, my female cousin, my girlfriend, my wife, they are all really good girls. And their friends and my this one girl who I didn't want, and that girl on TV, and that pop star, and this girl on OnlyFans that I paid $10 to yesterday. These are the bad girls, but they're not for me. and they're very separate groups. So that's the Madonna whore complex. And basically, step one is get out of this mindset. It's a fantasy. It's a comfortable fantasy. It's protecting your ego, because no guy, me included, wants to hear that yes, your mother has a sexual past, right? It's just, I don't even want to talk about it, right? It's weird, but it is true. Step one of you becoming more open, because remember, we're doing this whole process for you to open up and actually being able to receive both sides of a girl, because both sides, the Madonna and the whore, they're both inside of her. You are not doing yourself a favor by blocking yourself from this incredibly important part of her that is especially active right now. If you're a bit younger, or if you are in an explorative phase, you want to experience that phase of her as well. So get out of that fantasy world, get out of this black and white world of it's like this or it's like that. The truth, as so often, is somewhere in the middle. And trust me, I've been living the same illusion for most of my life as well. Only when I experienced more sex, different types of sex, when I actually started being around women more, when I stopped judging them, right? And I tried to receive their truth and be open to them and not judge them and shut up when I was about to judge them and just, become conscious of my constant inner bad patterns. It took me a lot of time and work on myself to accept and to overcome these judgmental thoughts, right? Back in high school and in general, like experiencing, I remember one girl, I was like on a first date with her, and I thought she's so beautiful and so cute and such an angel girl. And then, oh my God, like right after the date, I think she had sex with like, I don't know, a bunch of guys in that same day or same week, and I was destroyed. I was like shocked. How dare she do that? Like, I'll spare you the graphical part of that story, but it really shook me, right? I was a young guy and I was still unprepared for this kind of reality. This is where a lot of guys go into their shell and just start judging girls, or it's just, again, separating or pushing the reality away. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to grow, and I want you to actually become masculine and become a real man. And a real man understands the world as it is. The reality is neutral. You cannot just block out certain parts of the truth and then see the other side as the truth. The truth is complete. The truth is neutral. Next up, you have to start asking yourself difficult questions. What are you afraid of? Why are you so uncomfortable with the truth? Why are you so triggered when she opens up a little bit about her past? What is behind that? Are you worried that her ex-boyfriend is better in bed than you? Are you stressed that she likes other guys more? Are you worried about your own shortcomings, or insecure about certain parts of your body? Are you insecure about maybe a lack of experience? Do you have other deeper traumas with your parents, especially with your mom maybe, or your sisters? Do you worry she will cheat, or have you been cheated on before? And her acting like she is sexually liberated instantly makes you think, oh, that means she wants to have sex with multiple guys, not just with me, and she's gonna cheat on me, and now you're rejecting her in that sense. What other triggers might be in there? Maybe you don't have as much sexual experience, and her telling you about a fantasy makes you worried that, you're not good enough and you cannot give her what she wants in bed, and she will find out that you're a fraud and you're not as much as a man as you pretended to be with all your other shows and blows and whistles. Maybe you can even pause this video here, because this is a really important part, and just take a minute and think, when was the last time a significant other, a partner or a girlfriend, short-term or long-term, really triggered you in this sexual topic? And think, what was the root of it? Why were you so triggered? You don't need to share it with anyone. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to even post it. But just sit there and think, what could have been the actual cause? If we assume that it's not because, she was just a bad slutty girl, and bad slutty girls are bad. Yeah, so take a moment and do that. If you like this video, I will make a longer video where I want to go more into depth of how did these power structures develop, right? Especially there's one theory, it's true or not, but it's still interesting to think about, of why did all these religious structures got created in the first place, right? There was kings, there was bishops, there was popes. They must have realized, well, I need to kind of create a structure to suppress women's sexuality so I can hold on to it, so I can control it. It's not a secret that the kings, the bishops, the popes were the ones who had the most sex back then. interesting to think about what's the root of all this? What's the root of this female suppression in terms of sexuality? What's the root of these cultural memes and mindsets that she should be very conservative, she should save herself? Like, who is she saving herself for, really? Also, we want to look at modern society in a sense. Like, it is confusing. There's Britney Spears dancing, hit me baby one more time, oops I did it again, sexy outfits, short skirts, insane dancing, sweating, you know, her skin glowing, moving her curves, and at the same time, next day in an interview, oh, I will keep my virginity until I'm married, I'm such a good girl. Kim Kardashian.
My name's Kim Kardashian. I'm the dopest on the ropest person in this class.
How did she get famous? Porn, right? Her porn was the most watched video on the internet for a while. So she's basically one of the most famous porn stars, but also a beautiful mother, caring, a strong businesswoman, sophisticated, works hard, family values. It's like, it's very confusing these days. All these, you know, contradicting cultural messages understandably can make it confusing to have an opinion on your own sexuality and to just have clarity to think what is right, what is wrong. Now, how do we resolve this? How do we find clarity in this dilemma? Let's split up our dating experience for now, out of simplicity, in two parts: casual dating and relationships. So casual dating means active single, right? You are choosing to be single, you are having multiple sexual partners on and off, you are not committing to anyone. And committed relationships, you have either your one main chick and you have other partners, if that's the dynamic you established, or you are in a committed monogamous relationships like I've been for a year, you know, she's your one partner. So let's look at the first one. You're casually dating. This is the time when you have to open up. This is the time where you wanna experience your own sexuality, where you have to be open-minded about her sexuality, where you cannot show up on the date with that fixed, monogamous, conservative relationship mindset, because you will scare away the girl who wants to open up herself, who wants to explore stuff herself. So you're not doing yourself a favor. Most of the time, the problem becomes when you are in the casual dating phase, but you're already acting like you're in the relationship phase, right? So it could be that you sleep with a girl once or twice, and now you're already acting like her boyfriend. You're calling her all the time, you're instantly texting back. It's not even a good idea to do that anyway, even in a committed relationship, but okay. And you are instantly judging her for stuff she does, right? Maybe she goes to the club with her friends, guys, girls, and you're like, why are you going to the club? Or you like judge, like, oh, you f***ed someone last night? I saw your Instagram story, or I saw you on another guy's story. You suddenly scan who she's following on Instagram, what photos she likes. So you're in a jealous phase and you kind of want to latch on to her. Why is that? Why are you doing that? Most of the time, because you don't live in abundance. Most of the time, because she's your only source of intimacy. You know, if you lose her, it's going to be a struggle to find another one. The sex feels good, you didn't have sex for a long time. You lack options, you lack abundance. You don't have other ways of meeting women. Very common. I'm not judging you. I was in the same position for most of my life and it feels horrible. So if you're in that position, you can learn to meet more women. And the best way to meet women, the most effective way, the fastest way, is to just say hi to them on the street, just to do cold approaching. So if you want to learn more about that, and if you want to actually get coaching or join a group of guys who are doing that every day, you can book a call or join my social academy Brotherhood. You find the links below. So let's look into the other phase, which is the relationship. Now, in a relationship, I get it, right? We don't want to be constantly triggered about her sexual past. I'm the same. I basically ease into it as the relationship goes on, as I become more comfortable with her, as my own security goes up of like, this is my girl, I trust her, she will not cheat on me, we've been together, she shows me love, she doesn't even mention her ex anymore at all, she's not trying to trigger me, she's not playing games. This is the time where I personally, I'm talking really about me now. As we said at the beginning of the video, everybody's different, you know, some guys are like, yeah, tell me everything, this is exciting. Not for me, you know, I'm also more on that side in a relationship. I ease into it, I ask a few questions. Oh, how was it with this guy? Or what did you like about that? Or da 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 da. I also set strict boundaries in the sense of when and how she's allowed to open up about that. It's totally okay to say, hey, look, I don't like hearing about your ex. It doesn't make me feel good, or it distracts me, or it makes me stressed, or I'm not in a space right now where I want to hear about this stuff. Fine, right? And you can add on to, I'm with you now. I want to build something with you. I love time with you. I want to live in the moment. I don't want to hear about your past right now. It's not doing us both a favor. That's fine, right? It sounds maybe strict to set a boundary like that, but this is what a good man does. He knows what he wants. He tells her, and she will appreciate that. She will understand, cool, and she will, if she's a good woman, submit to that. It is important though that you eventually ease up and do go into it a bit, right? If you always block out her complete sexual past, you are kind of also blocking out her sexual present and her whole sexual fantasies, because every woman has sexual fantasies and they are probably crazier and more colorful and bigger than you think and you want them to be. You want to ease into it eventually. You want to be open-minded because it's good for you as well. It's not just for her. If you're the guy who can let her open up and is okay with it, it will lead to better sex. And better sex, of course, will lead to a better relationship, because you opening up about her past or about her present sexual fantasies will allow her to open up, and it will create a stronger connection. So you're doing it for yourself, because a stronger connection will lead to better sex. Better sex will lead to a better relationship. Better relationship and better sex will lead to her respecting you more as a man, her loving you more, right? You making yourself kind of more rare versus all the other guys who are not sexually open, who do shame her, who do block all that out. If you can accept that she has fantasies, she has a past, she has the horror inside of her, she's not always an angel, you give her the ability to open up during having sex with you. You can call her a little slut, she will like it, you will test stuff, you will experiment with stuff, you can get stuff out of her, you can finally do that thing she's always wanted to do, and she will worship you as a man, she will love you, she will be addicted to you for that sense. And that's really beautiful. If you can get to that level where she's 100% comfortable opening up, and at the same time you don't get triggered and you are confident with that, that's true masculinity. It's not the, you gotta be a man and she stays at home, and if she talks to one guy once, she's done and it's cheating and never and I'm the man. That's not a man. The man is like who understands reality, who understands truth, who understands how the world works and is okay with it and leads her through her own traumas, her own sexuality, her own insecurities, and who's basically the rock in that relationship. That's true love, that's true masculinity. If you're brave enough, share your own experience, your own thoughts, your own insecurities in the comments. And if you want me to make another bigger video on this topic, let me know. Please like this video, it's appreciated, and I see you in the next one.